Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back in the Porsche 718, the Cayman GT4, this time at Miami Grand Prix for yet another track guide. Now, if you're going to run this in the open setup Falcon series and you want to race the exact setup being driven by Gianni Lutzu in this track guide, you can go to our website, sambosetups.com, or you can go to our Patreon page. There are links to both in the description. There's also a link to Gianni's coaching website, lutzudriverperformance.com. All I can do is recommend the fella. He's the guy that got me from 1200 to 5.5k, and he is a top bloke. Right, let's start the hot lap. Straight looking for our braking marker into turn 1, which is going to be that 150, and we get on the brakes. It's about 55%. Long hold down to second gear. Now we're back smoothly on the gas. Little lift through 2, cutting some corner. Little lift again through 3. And now we go up through the gears. We're going to move over to the right hand side for turn 4. So at the 50, we're going to get on the brakes at about 50, trail it off down to 4th, back on the gas. Now we're going to get back on the brakes, cut in that corner, back on the gas in 3rd. And now this is a very tricky corner. We're literally just holding around 2, 3, 4% brake all the way through until we actually see that cone. And then we get back on the gas, jumping over that curb. And now we can relax a little bit on this windy straight. Just making sure you get nice and close to the walls. Once we see the second bridge up ahead, we're going to go over to the right hand side. We're going to get on the brakes at the 200 board. And again, we're just going to hold it around 55%. So we're not going on the brakes too hard, too late. Down to second gear, back on the gas. Now as we get to this white paneling, on the brakes again and smoothly back on the gas. Get nice and tight to the left-hand side and then back on the brakes. We're going to cut this corner and then really cut this corner in the GT4, so that's not a problem. And again, leaving it in second gear. Most important corner of the track. He's nailed that perfectly. Now we've got the long straight up ahead. I have only just noticed the stadium on the left-hand side. Right, at the 200 board, again on the brakes, long at around 60%, trail it off down to second, smoothly back on the gas, makes it look so effortless. And then we cut back across, and over and across the line we go in a 2:02.6. Right, here we are for the breakdown lap. So first braking marker, just before this 150 sign that you can just see in the windscreen here. And we hold the brakes around 55% all the way through until here. Now we're going to trail it off. Just kiss that curbing, get back on the gas. We reach 100% not until here, and we're almost immediately doing a lift. Cutting that corner, getting over the curb. And now another lift as we go through turn 3, just kissing that curbing. By the way, the brake bias is shown on the screen, plus 1.25. Right, at this 50 board, we are now going to turn in and we're going to get on the brakes briefly up to about 50-55%. Trail that off down to 4th, and again, just getting our left-hand tyres up on that curve. We reach 100% once we're mid-track again, and then almost immediately getting on the brakes up to about 25-30%. Trail that off, and then we pick back up in 3rd gear. And then once we get to the middle of this sort of curbing, that's when we're going to do a big lift, and we get on the brakes initially up to about 7-8%, and we're just holding it, leaving it in 3rd gear, holding it, and we don't start picking back up on the gas until we get nice and close to this curb here on the left-hand side. Now Johnny knows that he's going to make it. He gets back on the gas. It's nice and tight to that wall, jumping over that curb, not a problem with this setup. Right, it's going to be this 200 board that we start braking for turn 11. And again, holding it around 55% all the way to the 50. Now we're going to trail off, drop it down to second. We pick back up on the gas at the apex. And then as soon as we get to the end of the blue asphalt bit where it turns to white and red, that's when we get on the brakes up to about 20%, and then it's just a classic trail off. We're in second gear. We're going to start picking back up on the gas. We don't reach 100% until we're all the way out here. We want to get nice and tight to that wall on the left-hand side. And as soon as we do so, we're going to get on the brakes. Again, only up to about 20%. We want to get nice and tight to this wall on the left-hand side, as you can see. And we're just pressuring or increasing the pressure on our throttle there. As soon as we get to the white and red markings on the road here, this is when we get on the brakes to about 33%, pick back up on the gas in second at the apex, exit nice and wide without hitting the wall. Right, for the turn 17, it's going to be midway between the 200 and the 150, so if you start preparing to get on it at the 200, and again, holding it initially around 60%, wipe that speed off all the way down to second gear, and now we start picking back up on the apex. And then this bit's nice and straightforward. Just give that a glancing tickle. And over and across the line we go in a 202.6. We've got one final version coming up next with the driving line on, but without me talking, so enjoy.